Hello YouTube. Today's project is installing a Garmin Zumo XT GPS to the dash mount on my Spyder. I do not like having the GPS here. I have an old 660 that came with this limited 2014 RT. So I'm gonna be removing all that, not today, because I had to order 2 new handlebar bolts to take this mount off. I generally don't like having to look down at this GPS, and especially, I don't know, when the sun's wrong, it's just hard for me to see, and it's small. So I'm gonna mount that other GPS, the new one, right up here. So here we go. I'm gonna power it. I was thinking I would power it from the same spot that this 660, you know, the stock harness comes beside the gas tank, and the power connection is behind the gas tank right up here. But I'm not going to do that, because there's the accessory wires right here. If you pull this, you know, take your liner loose, take your battery cover off, pull this rubber plug out that's right there, you can, there's a rubber boot with these 2 wires kind of shoved into it. So I fished those wires out of there, so I've got access to them. I'm not going to be running the cables out here. I just wanted access to them. From here, it'd be really easy if I'd have done this when I had the frunk off, but I guess we'll see. I'm going to end up pulling this off, of course, and so I'll just run my wire the same place I ran this power for my phone, this motorcycle, I don't know what they call them, motorcycle charging station. So I'll just kind of follow the general, probably even just zip tie that line to that thing. So I did verify that these accessory wires were only on with the key switch on. Since this is smaller than this thing, I'll probably end up fishing the cable up through the dash first, so I will wait to put this Zumo mount all together here. Jeez, that was lucky. Fell clear through and hit the floor. So what I'm going to do is pull this left headlight out so I can have better access to where I'm going to fish that wire in at. And I gotta cut a zip tie. I forgot about the adjuster for the headlight. Here we go. Now it'll move. Sure don't lose any babies. That'll work. I'm going to pause again and vacuum all the bugs out of there, and I'll be right back. So what I'm going to do to fish this, I just got a piece of solid copper wire. I'm going to put a little hook in it so it'll hook the edge of that, and then I'm just going to tape it on so it stays. And we'll start trying to fish our way up to the top. Keep it as small as I can so we can get through the tight spots. I'm just reaching around here, and then I'm gonna see if I can locate that other wire that I'd fished down a couple of years ago. And it's right there. So I'm just gonna start working my way up right beside it. This is it right here. So I'm just going to go so I can tie them together, and they'll go through us right there together. And, you know, just make sure you keep it away from the moving parts, like your tie rods, you know, the whatever that is, the DPS unit. So you don't want to run wires anywhere close to places they're going to get dinged up or rubbed. Where are you? That's not where I'm wanting to go. as well as the adjustment arm for the windshield. So there's a harness, hopefully you can see that. There's a harness going up right where I ran that original power cable. So I'm just going to follow that up and come up right in front of that arm. So the windshield's all the way up, or almost all the way up here. So I'm just going to follow that up here. If I can find it, come on. Yeah, I don't know if I'd have got that other end of that thing through here, because this is tight. Oh. Okay, before I untape that, I'm just going to verify I got it running where it needs to be and not going to bind up on anything. Looks good. So I'm a pretty tall guy. I don't know, 6 feet, but I really do not like looking down at that GPS. So I think I'm gonna like it. You know, another option would have been to put a ball mount on the handlebar and, you know, do an arm and get it wherever I wanted it, but I just don't like things turning with the handlebars that I'm trying to look at. And with it not being right in the middle, it'd be swinging quite a ways. So here we go. So this mount, see the screw hole there and there, looks like it's got to shove through there and then back itself up. That little tiny screw has to go right there. That. And there's some bushings. These instructions are all with the Garmin, and there's plenty of info on the internet or on YouTube on putting these together, so I'm not going to bore you with that, and the instructions are pretty straightforward. So this dash mount I got from valueaccessories.com for 50 or 60 bucks. I really like it. Some people don't like stuff mounted on their dash. I do. So I ordered, and let's see, there's the part number in here. And I'll link all these part numbers in the description. A 6-inch ram arm. Yeah, I'll put the part numbers in the description. I also got these kind of high security nuts for the ram arm, so you don't have to worry about somebody easily stealing your mounts. So we're gonna use that. I'll put that part number in the description also. All you do is simply pull your nut off, screw this one on, let's see how this thing's gonna look. And then this nut comes off there, and you can throw that in your case for if you need to take it off. What I really like about these is they're an actual touch screen. Instead of like the layered, I don't know what these are considered, but I have trouble with these types of GPSs anyway. So I'm going to remove all of this with the harness, and I'll be selling it on probably Spyder Lovers. Nothing wrong with it, works fine. All the maps are updated. So somebody with a standard model RT can put this on theirs. I don't know why this one isn't starting. Maybe the battery's dead or something. Or maybe since it's hooked to the harness, it needs to sense power to turn on. Okay. Alright, I'm going to spend some time zip tying everything, and I'll jump back when I'm making the connection downhill. I still have not zip tied everything up. I thought I better get power hooked up to it and make sure it works. I did go ahead and, I tinned those wires, put spades on. If I had it to do over again, I probably would have ordered waterproof connectors, kind of like what's stock on all the rest of these connectors in this bike, but they are full of dielectric grease, that female end for the spade, and then I'm gonna just shrink wrap a piece over each connector before I shove it back in there. So these put on. I'll shrink them up. Well, let's see if it works first. It should turn on automatically, I would assume. Okay. I never put my parking brake on in the garage so I can move it around. All right, here we go. Looks good. Now I'm going to pause and I'll zip tie everything back up and get everything put together. Bye. So if you want this thing more in the center, it's okay using this 6-inch arm, and I'll put part numbers for this and this other stuff. But I think I went out to my truck and stole some parts here. I think what I'm gonna do, because I don't want it in the center and up so high, so here's my plan. I'm gonna use a 3-inch and then a double ball end, and then the little stubby that actually comes with the GPS. And mostly so I can get this thing down a little further, and then it's not in the way of my, when I'm shooting videos off my helmet. So it's down a little more, out of the way. It's not blocking my temperature gauge or any of the cluster. My phone, I have it set so it kind of sits between the speedometer, which I don't use that anyway because I use the one on the screen. But yeah, I think this is the way I'm gonna go, and I do have 2 more of these high securities so I can keep them secure on here, and then you just push the release, and I guess if you're going to store it outside, we always have a half cover on it, but if you're going to leave it outside where it's going to get wet, they've got this little rubber hoop jigger to clip over the tighten up. Come on. Yeah, I like that there a lot better. It's going to be easier for me to see and read while we're going down the road, and especially through busy areas, you know. I'm not having to look down, clear down at this thing. Alright, well, I'm going to get everything buttoned up. I'm not going to video putting this all back together because literally it's the reverse of what we did before. Okay, finished product as far as wiring goes. So I'm just going to hold this GoPro at my eye level. So yeah, I like it. I did end up for sure using these two shorter ones with the double ball end here, and I've got the wire buttoned up, so it's pretty much out of sight, out of mind. Going in front or behind the arm for adjusting the windshield. I've got it. The extra wire from that cable just kind of wrapped up in a circle here between the headlights. You can see where they go up and then they come down. Let me get over here. Got them zip tied to that big harness there to keep them out of the way, and then they go into that area right behind the frunk. So everything's buttoned up good. I have seen people hesitant of running wires on top of the dash here. And that center support, I'll show you real quick.